Today, poems remain an important part of art and culture. We often talk about the knowledge about the literature in poem. Poetry is probably the oldest form of literature, and probably predates the origin of writing itself. A leader can define or clarify goals by issuing a memo or an executive order, an edict or a fatwa or a tweet, by passing a law, barking a command, or presenting an interesting idea in a meeting of colleagues. The first few members are encouraged to report a good experience before they actually start making a profit. Others in their network follow their example, and the schemes balloon in size before it comes clear that most members aren't actually profiting. People might think that they're anxious about math because they're bad at it, but it's often the other way around. They're doing poorly in math because they're anxious about it. Why do we sometimes fail to perform up to what we're capable of when the pressure is on? It may not be so surprising to hear that in stressful situations we worry. We worry about the situation, the consequences, what others will think of us. Brain scans show that for people with a fixed mindset, the brain becomes most active when receiving information about how the person performed, such as a grade or a score. But for people with a growth mindset, the brain becomes most active when receiving information about what they could do better next time. One-on-one meetings, especially with your direct reports, is one of the strongest predictors of success as a manager. Big meetings aren't good. Little meetings can be very good. It's time-consuming. It is hard, but it's a thing that really correlates with success as a manager. I encourage people to provide feedback to one another. It's a gift. It's also often part of your job. But too often, we don't go far enough. So I suggest that we create psychological contracts. We know that the more comfortable we feel around someone, the less effort we will make about how we appear, and conversely, the more anxious we are about the judgment of others, the more our reflection has the power to horrify us. When economists study gift giving, they're very concerned with one thing: waste. Let's say hypothetically that my grandmother buys me a sweater that I hate, and your grandmother buys you a sweater that you hate. The groups were asked to identify which bits of equipment were most important, and their decisions were compared to the correct answers supplied by NASA. Some of groups held their meeting standing up, and the others held them sitting down. The idea behind recycling is simple: by breaking old products down and converting them into something usable again, we conserve natural resources. It saves forests, cuts emissions, and means less pollution. The internet is this new, amazing medium. Not so new, it's been around quite some time now. But it's maturing as, among other things, a place for journalism. Canada is a country of the enormous natural resources. It is the world's largest exporter of forest products and a top exporter of fish, furs, and wheat. Minerals have played a key role in Canada's transformation into an urban industrial economy. Telescopes and eyes are both tools for collecting and detecting light. In fact, telescopes can be thought of as bigger, more powerful eyes. The type of lenses and mirrors and their arrangement determine some of the features of the telescope.